Hey, financial besties. Hey, financial besties. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. I see some of you are here in the comments already. So good to see you. So good to see you. How you doing? How you been? If you're with me live, y'all know what I'm going to ask. Drop some money babies in the chat and let me know how you're feeling. I really want to know how you're feeling too. I love the money babies, but I do want to know how you're feeling. And if you're watching the replay, y'all know that routine too. Comment replay gang, so I will know that you were here. All right. I see some of you coming in already. I love to see it. Love to see it. And shout out to my channel members, the besties and the VIP besties. I appreciate you all so much. I see you. I see you, Shalonda. I see you, Nina, Dr. Donna, Eileen, Joy, Kimmy, Arlita, Sharon, Tanya, Jametta. That felt like a DMX song. It's like I see some of your names so much and I've remembered you. But if I missed your name, please charge it to my mind and not my heart. But I thank all of you so very much, especially because of something I'm going to share tonight with you. But if you are not a channel member and you want to be a Financial Bestie channel member, you can tap that join button right below this video. Right there somewhere. Go and tap that join button and become a channel member. I would love to have you. But if you're new to me, hey to you too. My name is Malika and I help Black women learn how to invest in the stock market so you can work less or retire early without worrying about money. So if that sounds like your vibe, subscribe to my channel, sis. Welcome. Let me say hey to all of my besties. Say hey to all of my besties. How y'all feeling? What's up, Miss Brown? Miss Brown, I think last week I missed you. I was actually looking for you. I said, where Eileen at? She's always first. What's up, Miss Venus? How you doing? How you been? Miss Greta King. What's up, Greta King? And love to see the money bags. You need to become a channel member so you can get the custom money babies. Tammy T said 100K to V Gang. I know that's right. I love it. I know that's right. I will see you in the challenge. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Ooh, Agami. What's your name, Agami? You're a channel member. And I don't recognize your name, Agami. I'm sure we've communicated, but you probably use another name that's different than YouTube. Again, charge it to my mind and not my heart. Hello, sis. How you doing? How you been? Let me know how you're feeling. Fat Fold Jones. I'm just going to call you Miss Jones. How about that? Good evening. I'm just going to call you Miss Jones. Look, so we communicate. I knew we did, just by another name. So shoot me a DM to let me know who you are off of YouTube. So the next time I see your name, I can shout you out. I appreciate you, sis. And Elle, what's up, girl? How you doing? How you been? How you doing? How you been? A couple of announcements. The first things first. The Road to 100K Investing Challenge begins on Monday. We begin on Monday. I am so excited. I'm so excited. If you are in the challenge and you have enrolled, but you are not in the private community yet, please join us ASAP. I was looking at a report that my team sent me today, and it looks like about 4 of you are enrolled, but you're not in the private community. Please join us. As a reminder, you must have a Facebook account, right? Your account must have a profile picture. And it can't be a spammy looking account that you just created today and you got a picture of the ocean. You must answer all of the questions to access the community and the separate training room. All of these are requirements because creating a safe space for Black women to engage and learn without feeling judged, without feeling intimidated, without feeling like they are disclosing some parts of themselves to some strangers that they cannot see. I don't allow that in any community where I coach. Creating a safe space for Black women is my highest priority. And I will refund you before I compromise what I value. I refunded someone today. I have no problem refunding. No problem at all. So if you are not in the private community, please join us with your Facebook account. You must have a profile picture and you must answer all of the questions. If any question is not answered, the AI bot is going to automatically reject you. I don't even see that. All of that is automatically done. And at the end of each day, my team go in and check to see who's in, who's left that needs to join. I don't see it. So make sure you have a legitimate Facebook account, not one you just created today, your profile picture, and answer all the questions, and you will be added to the community. And in the community, you will get access to the private training room. It's not hard. We have 2 communities going. Everyone else is in there except 4 people. So it's not complicated. Go ahead and join us in the community. I look forward to seeing you. Y'all, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to help Black women start building wealth. I love it. I just love the sound of it. But the next quick announcement, the Financial Besties Scholarship. I told y'all last week to get on my email list because I was going to be doing something special. I know by now y'all should learn to trust me. I told you I was going to be doing something special. So earlier this week, I think about Tuesday or Wednesday, I sent out the scholarship announcements to everyone that was on the email list for the Investing Challenge. And as soon as I clicked submit, I think like 5 minutes later, I started getting applications. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. But I love it. I love it. I love it. This scholarship is thanks to 100% thanks to the channel members, my financial besties and my VIP besties. They are so generous and they become channel members to support you to be able to learn how to invest and build your wealth. Some of them have already been through my coaching program and they see the value and they want to help more Black women do what they have learned to do. So I appreciate each and every one of you so very much. I've selected a few people already. You probably got an email from me this morning, and that email actually came directly from me this morning. If you have not checked your emails yet, but you know you're on the email list, please do, because I may select a few more. Some of these submissions, they're a lot better than I expect. I don't know what I expected. I'm not going to say they're better than what I expected. I don't know what I expected. But your submissions, I'm like, yep. It was too hard to say no and only pick one person. So I had to pick several. And I promised the VIP besties that I was going to narrow it down to like 2 or 3 and let them pick just one winner. It was too hard to narrow it down. So I just selected a few. But we might select a few more. So if you're on the list, you receive my email. You have to have been on the list before I sent the email out because I'm not going to send another one before the challenge. And you want to be considered for the scholarship, please submit your application. Submit it by tomorrow, please, so we can get you processed and onboarded because the challenge starts on Monday. I know I will select at least one more, but maybe more than one. Depends on the submissions that I receive. So get them in by tomorrow, please, please, please. And I added a second cohort because the first cohort sold out so quickly. So I added a second cohort, and that one almost sold out too. I still have one more seat left in the second cohort. It's not a scholarship seat, it's just going to be a regular seat. But it's one more seat left in the second cohort, and I may choose another one or two people to receive the scholarship. So a total of 3 more seats. So if you are interested in joining us, we begin on Monday. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I will share the link for anyone that wants to join us in the challenge. And if you miss this round, I cannot promise when I will do it again. At the present moment, I don't have any plans to do it again. It's not something I've scheduled, not anything I'm even thinking about putting on my calendar. But in the event that I do host it again, you have to make sure you're on my email list, because the way this thing sold out so quickly, I will probably just announce it to my email list and let you all get first dibs. And then if it doesn't fill up, I will share it openly. But get on the email list. That's how you get access to all the goodies. That's how you get access to all the goodies. Let me share the link. You can join the challenge. If you're already on the list, I'm going to pick one or two more scholarship recipients and then one more non-scholarship participant. So there we go. There's the link to join us. We start on Monday. Venus, you didn't get notice of acceptance to the community. Okay, check your Facebook notifications, because like I said, the bots, the AI bot on Facebook, they will auto decline if you haven't answered all the questions. Did you answer all the questions? Every question. There are 3 questions and 1 checkbox. So if you did not answer all the questions, you were probably auto declined by the bot. So double check that. All right. Venus said, thank you to all the besties that supported her winning the scholarship. And that's the link to join the challenge, bit.ly/100K investing challenge. Join us, join us. I see you, Venus. We're not sharing the private information on the public live stream. Send me an email. Send me an email, please. But as you can see, tonight is not going to be one of my usual videos where I get straight to the point. If that's what you prefer, I understand. I do. Because sometimes I can't sit through really long videos or someone that's presenting the topic but not getting to the point. I'm just feeling really happy tonight, very excited. And I want to just kick back and vibe with my financial besties. So if you watch because you want me to get to the point, you want to learn something quickly, go and enjoy your night, sis. Go and enjoy your night and just watch the replay tomorrow. I will not be offended if you leave. I promise. It's cool. But tonight I want to vibe. I want to vibe with my besties for a little bit, because I read each and every one of your comments. I read everything that you send me in DMs if we're connected on Facebook or Instagram. I see your comments on some of the videos, the other channels that I watch. If you submit something to me, like the application for the Financial Bestie Scholarship, I read everything that you write. If you have submitted a Q&A for the Invest with Ease program, I read everything that you write. I listen to you, I hear you, I read everything, and I see you. I have noticed, of all the things I have been reading lately, that many of you are feeling financially behind? Want to talk about it? Want to talk about it? Hello, the self-care maven. You must be in the challenge too. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. What's up, channel member? VIP channel member, Shalonda. All the besties was just saying thank you to you because I shared that the scholarship that they received was all thanks to the financial besties and the VIP besties. Some of them have already been chosen. So when you see thank you in the comments, they're thanking you as well as all the other members. So thank you, Shalonda, if you missed my personal thank you earlier today. But yeah, so let's talk about it. Are you feeling financially behind or stressed about your finances at all? Let me know in the comments. I bet you're not alone. I bet you're not alone. Are you feeling financially behind? In this video tonight, I want to talk about Shalana said, don't get me crying. Aw. We appreciate your generosity. But tonight I want to talk about some of the reasons you might be feeling financially behind. And of course, I'm always wearing my coaching hat. Even when I try to take it off, I can't take it completely off. But I also want to share a few tips to help you cope and get back on track so you won't feel so behind. But let me know in the comments who's feeling financially behind. We just vibing tonight. We just vibing. Anybody that don't want to vibe, you can watch the replay tomorrow. I love you too, though. I love you too. Jan Wig. I feel behind but hopeful. Okay. I'm glad to hear it. You feel behind but hopeful. Healing one's mindset. I like your name. Hey, girl, hey. If you were on my email list, you received notice of the scholarship earlier this week. You would have received notice of the scholarship earlier this week. What's up, Miss Brooks? How you doing? How you been? So no one in the comments is feeling financially behind? I see it so often. Maybe the people that mention it are not here tonight. They're probably part of the replay crew. This is a safe space. I know it's a public live stream, but it's a safe space because anybody start talking sideways to anybody in my community, you will get blocked with the quickness. Well, let's talk about why some of us may feel this way. I even feel behind sometimes. I felt behind many times in my life. Nicole Pickett says she's 56 and behind. 56 and behind. I used to feel like I was behind because y'all know I was a young mother, right? And all of my peers, all of my friends, everyone I went to high school with, you know, they went off to college. And I was at home with a baby. Right? I tried to go to school immediately after graduating high school, but I flunked out. I flunked out of college, my first attempt at trying. I flunked out and then just stayed out for a while. So while my friends were in college and pledging and dating and enjoying their freedom, I was at home being a mom and trying to raise a little human. So their lives were going on and our friendships were separating, and I felt like I was behind. I didn't go back to college. My second attempt wasn't until I was 20. Let me do the math in my head. Because I didn't graduate until I was 27. So I didn't go back to school, my second attempt, until I was what, 23? That would make me 23. So by the time I was starting college the second time, all my friends had graduated. They had graduated and was starting their careers. They had moved on. Our lives were changing so much. And I felt behind. And as they were beginning their careers and earning money, I was still broke. I was still on welfare. So I definitely felt financially behind. I didn't start my career until late 27, almost 28 years old. And by then, my friends had been in their careers for 5 years. So I felt behind mainly because I was comparing myself to other people. I was comparing myself to what my peers were doing and what I felt like I should have been doing, completely ignoring my circumstances, my unique circumstances that would have changed the timeline for me. But I was judging myself and my life progress and my financial progress based on what I saw other people doing and what was difficult. I was about to say impossible. That's why I paused. What was difficult for me to do. So it made me feel like I was behind, like I was doing something that was wrong, or like I had made some really, really bad choices that I could never overcome, or that there were things I should be doing, or things that I should have known that I didn't know yet, because I hadn't even started college yet. I attempted, but flunked out. I hadn't started yet. So if you were feeling financially behind, I understand. And I wonder if the reason you might be feeling that way is because we have a tendency to compare ourselves to others. And not only do we compare ourselves to others, I feel like our society encourages it and it influences the way we think, especially current society. I'm so glad social media was not a thing when I was in high school and college, because I would really, really have been messed up. But our current society also influences the way we think, and it makes us feel like we should be doing more than what we're currently doing, even when we're doing okay. So let me know in the comments if you're feeling financially behind. Is it because you may be comparing yourself to others, or you're measuring yourself against a benchmark, some arbitrary number? Like, for example, I think I was on Instagram yesterday and I saw a post that said, you should have 1 times your salary by age 30 saved. You should have 3 times your salary by age 40 invested. You should have 6 times your salary by age 50. I was like, who comes up with these numbers? It just seems so arbitrary and just so random. And the article or the post, it didn't elaborate on the basis of that number. It was just 1x this and 3x this and 6x this by this age. And I imagine other people will see that, and then they will check what they have saved based on their age and then measure themselves against this arbitrary number, this arbitrary benchmark. And if you don't have 1x or 3x or 6x, whatever the number is by your age, it makes you feel like you're behind. It makes you feel like you need to catch up. That's another phrase I hear often, too. Let me know. Are you comparing yourself to others? Or are you measuring yourself against an arbitrary benchmark that was created by the media? The media. Let me check in with the comments because I want to hang with y'all. I'm not teaching or coaching or anything. Just want to hang with y'all. So let me see what we're saying. Tanya said yes, she does. You feel behind. Mm-hmm. Venus, I'm struggling to get used to this constant financial burdens. What financial burdens are you referring to, Venus? I feel behind at times. So see, if you're feeling behind, you're not alone. Look at us in the comments, right? What causes you to feel behind, Greta? Miss King, are you comparing yourself to other people or measuring yourself against a benchmark that the media has put out into the universe? Maya said she turned 47 last Friday and I'm financially behind. Why do you feel financially behind, sis? So I'm seeing a lot of people mention their age. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. So are you feeling financially behind because something or someone told you that you should have X by X age? I'm seeing a lot of people mention their age in reference to feeling behind. Mm-hmm. Jan says she dropped out and didn't go back until she was 25. Yeah. Only difference, I didn't drop out. I flunked out. I didn't drop out. I flunked out. I want to be very clear because I wanted to go to school. I wasn't mentally ready. I didn't know how to balance it all. And I failed. I failed all of my classes. Can you imagine enrolling in a university, paying all of that expensive tuition, getting student loans, and failing every class and none of the credits? You didn't earn any credit, but you still got to pay them student loans back? Girl, that's how my life began. So people be talking about my life now and, oh, your salary was this, that's why you were able to do that, or, oh, you only able to do that because of XYZ. Y'all don't understand the struggle. When I say I started from the bottom, I started from the bottom. Shalonda, I flunked out too. Look, I am with my peoples. I can laugh about it now, but Shalonda, I'm sure you would agree it wasn't funny then. But we can laugh about it now. Yes, we are a community of some flunkies. But look at us now, right? This just goes to show if any young person is watching this video and you are struggling in college right now, baby girl, do not think you are a failure. Do not think your life is over just because you failed one class, or even if you were like me and failed them all. Your life is still just beginning. You still have so many opportunities in front of you. You just gonna have to, what Jay-Z said, go and brush your shoulders off, get up and brush your shoulders off and try again. You only fail when you stop trying. But yes, Shalonda, I'm glad I'm not alone. We are a community of flunkies. Taisa, I'll be 48 and I'm so far behind. Sometimes it bothers me, but I refuse to be defeated. That's right, girl. That's right, girl. Refuse to be defeated. Yes. I'm sure others might judge me as being behind, but I like the idea of being on my unique timeline. You know what? Other people aren't judging you for being behind because they have their own burdens to carry. I think a lot of times we think we're being judged by others when in reality, other people don't care because they struggling too. The only people that judge are people with low self esteem that need to put other people down or identify the weaknesses in others to make themselves feel better. So I won't say nobody judge. Most people aren't judging you for being behind because they still struggling too. But the few people that do judge, they got bigger problems. They're judging because they need to make themselves feel better. So sis, I'm glad you are on your own unique timeline too. See what happens when you stay in your own lane and you follow your own unique timeline? I didn't graduate college till I was 26, 27. I retired from my career in my 40s, financially independent. So the timeline when you start doesn't matter. The timeline of feeling behind based on comparisons or some arbitrary number doesn't matter. Like sis said, your own unique timeline is what matters and what you do based on where you are now, based on what you choose to do starting right now. Because the comparison don't matter at the end of the day if we all end up at the same destination. How much faster you got there than me, it don't matter. We all here at the same time. I don't care. So stay in your own lane. There's a comedian I used to watch. He would say, stay in your lane, there's less traffic. I love that. I love that. And that was a thought that I carried with me for so long. Stay in your own lane because there's less traffic. I don't like being in traffic jams. I don't like doing what everybody else doing. Create your own unique timeline, like our good sis said. I wish I knew your name so I could call you your name. I won't use your whole government name, but I wish I knew your name. Let's see, Miss Venus, I'm 65 and financially behind. It is hard to imagine that I have a chance of living the life I had imagined for myself in retirement. I do realize that it's mainly because I'm comparing. Yes, mainly because you're comparing. Yeah, it is. It is. When I judged myself, when I felt bad about being behind, it was because I was comparing. And sometimes when we compare ourselves to others, it actually leads us to make poor decisions or to pursue things that we don't really want, but we're doing it because that's what everyone else is doing. And we're comparing ourselves. So we think we need to be doing that too. Like, for example, here's another mistake I made, or another thing I did because I felt behind, because I was comparing myself. Look, I'm being transparent and telling all my business, but that's all right. We besties. We just hanging out. We just kicking back. I wish I had a glass of wine instead of this tea. But you know how society says, oh, you should own a home. Oh, you should buy a home because if you rent, you're throwing money away. Oh, the path to wealth is home ownership. Everyone should buy a home. And then the guilt that's piled on when they talk about, oh, years ago, our ancestors weren't able to own property. Now we can own property. We need to own a home because Black people don't own anything. buy a home, buy a home. And it's messages that we hear and we feel like we need to do these things by any means necessary. Completely ignoring the fact that we need to educate ourselves first, but we feel like we need to do it by any means necessary because we're so behind. So we need to catch up. We need to catch up. And then the first little bitty job we get, we immediately want to buy a home just so we can say, all right, I've caught up. I'm not behind anymore. I'm a homeowner now. And meanwhile, as soon as the escrow adjusts because the taxes went up, the HOA went up, or the homeowner's insurance go up, you can no longer afford your payment. Because society says we should own a home, and we're comparing ourselves to everyone else that look like they're rich or that look like they're successful because they own this big, beautiful home. So we want one too. Guess who did that? Me. And it was the worst financial decision I've ever made in my life. It was a $250,000 poor decision that I made 20 years ago. Child. Mm-mm. So comparing ourselves can lead down a slippery, slippery road. Um, but Venus, one thing you said, the life that you imagine for yourself in retirement. That's another point I want to share to help us cope with comparing ourselves and to bring us down like to our reality, not other people's reality. What is the life that you envision for yourself? What is the goal that you want? Do you really want to be a homeowner, or do you just want to buy a home because that's what everybody tell you you should do? Do you really want to be financially independent? Do you really want to pursue fire? Or you think you do because it's a trending topic you see on social media, and the people that say they've achieved fire, they live a life that looks pretty good, and you want what they have. But is that what you really want? And I say this as someone that advocates for financial independence. But not everyone needs to go to the extent that it takes to achieve financial independence or financial freedom. So, is that what you really want? Because that takes commitment. When I say the extent, I'm talking about the commitment. It's a long uphill battle to get there. Is that what you really want? Or is what you want just to have enough money to pay your bills, or enough money to go see your family once or twice a year that may live on the other side of the country or in another country? Or is what you really want to just work less? Maybe you work a really high tempo, stressful job like I did, and you are maybe working 50, 60, 70 hours a week if you work on Wall Street or if you're an attorney, and you just want the financial security to choose another job that doesn't require so much of your bandwidth. You just want to work less. What is it that you really want? Ignore what everyone else is doing. Ignore the comparisons. Ignore the media, the articles that come out that say what you should have by this age. What is it that you want? What does your, oh, a journal prompt. You don't have to answer while we're on the live stream, but when you get some quiet time and some downtime, I want you to journal. What does your ideal life look like? What does your ideal life look like? And be very, very specific when you're journaling that. Where do you live? What is your typical day? All right. Who are you near? Are you near your family? Do you work? What kind of job do you have? All right. Do you travel? How often do you travel? What does your ideal life look like? And after you journal that and describe it, then start writing out what are some things you need to do to get that life and what needs to be different than what you're doing right now. And the purpose of that exercise is to redirect your focus from external and comparing yourself to other people and measuring yourself against arbitrary benchmarks and focus internal. What is it that Venus really wants? What is it that Tanya really wants? What is it that Jan really wants? What's your ideal life? What does that look like? And what will that take? That's what I want you to focus on instead of comparing yourself to other people and comparing yourself to benchmarks. Because, honey, social media, I saw somebody saying six figures ain't a whole lot. If you earn six figures, you still broke. Since when six figures ain't a lot of money? When the average salary in the United States is like 40 something thousand. Since when six figures ain't a lot of money? But social media will make you think six figures ain't a lot. And the entrepreneurs on social media will make you think if you ain't earning seven figures in your business, you ain't working hard enough. Where do these arbitrary numbers come from? We cannot consume that information and use that as a benchmark to measure ourselves to determine whether we're doing well or whether we're behind. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Somebody saying six figures ain't nothing. Give me six figures I ain't got to work for. I'll tell you what I'll do with it. Yeah, let me check in with y'all again. I've been talking a lot. Let me check in with my besties. I'm just vibing with y'all tonight. I would rather be behind at 25 than at 50. So a mention of age again. A mention of age again. Even Warren Buffett would trade place with a 20-year-old. So it's funny you mentioned Warren Buffett. We all know who Warren Buffett is, right? He is the oracle. He is the greatest investor of our time. He is a multi-billionaire. Did you know Warren Buffett didn't really start making money until he was 60 years old? Did you know that? Did you know that he didn't become the great investor that he's known for until he was well into his 60s? So tell me again what Warren Buffett said. That quote that you're thinking about, context matters. When he said he would trade places with a 20-year-old, he was talking about his health. He was talking about the time horizon that a 20-year-old has when they're investing in the stock market. I'll trade places with a 20-year-old. Baby, if I had 40 years ahead of me to invest with the knowledge I have today, I would be a force to be reckoned with. So context matters. Context matters. Warren Buffett didn't become the Warren Buffett until he was in his 60s. Do you think he compared himself to other people when he was in his 40s and 50s? Do you think he felt behind when he was in his 40s and 50s? He didn't become the man that we know today, or didn't start. His journey was just beginning in his 60s. So if you want to talk about Warren Buffett, let's talk about it. But context matters. Context matters. Let's see. Let me highlight another person. Tanya. Tanya. I'm so far behind, but I'm sick of being tired of being tired. I know I'm behind. I feel you, sis. I feel you, sis. The good thing, I know you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, but the good thing about where you are is you've reached that point of frustration where your pain point is so profound, you're ready to do something about it. Because let's be honest, a lot of things in life we may not like, or we may want to change, we want to improve, we want to do something different, but we haven't felt enough pain to make a change. I'm going to expose myself again. Y'all, I want to lose weight. I have been trying to lose weight, and I've actually lost weight in the past. And then during the pandemic, I gained it all back. I actually kept it off for like 5 or 6 years. I was a runner, believe it or not. I used to run marathons. I used to run races. I used to travel all over the United States just to run races. Most of my friends were runners. As long as I was running, it was easy for me to maintain my weight. Had a couple of health issues, some knee problems because of the running, some back surgeries. Can't run anymore. The weight piled on. I want to lose weight, but I haven't reached that point of being sick and tired of being sick and tired yet. Because if I had, I would be at my goal weight by now. So I share that because for you, Tanya, and I hope I'm saying your name correctly, when I see that you're saying you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, it sounds like a bad thing, but I see it as a good thing because when you reach that point, you're at a point of no return, and I know you're about to take action. I know you're about to do something. When you get to the point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, it's like your mind, a switch goes off in your mind, and you're ready to take action and do something different. I don't want to wish anything bad on my life. I hope nothing happens to me that make me sick and tired and forces me to make a change. I'm going to try, y'all. I'm still going to try. I'm never going to give up. In fact, when I make this next transition in my life, I'm going to make it more of a priority. But when you get to that point, that's when change is about to happen. That's what I believe. Change is about to happen for you. Jan, you said you dropped out before you flunked out. Also, you don't want to be one of us flunkies. Let's see, Nicole. I haven't, hey, Nicole, I haven't invested or saved enough towards retirement. That's scary. You know, the key word I see that stands out like is flashing at me is enough. What is enough? Have you run the numbers? Have you done any calculations to determine what's enough? Or are you comparing yourself to a benchmark that you've read in an article that says this is how much you should have by this age? What is enough? A lot of times we think we don't have enough, but when we run the numbers, we're just fine. According to Susie Orman, you need $10 million to retire. If it was up to Susie Orman, I would still be working. I ain't got $10 million. I ran my numbers. I have enough. I don't care. what the media says, what the gurus say. I have enough. And I'm living my best life. I'm living my best life and will continue to. I have enough because I ran my numbers. So I want to know if you've run your numbers to determine what enough is for you. Let me know. I think I'm a little behind. Shalonda, is this not funny at all? School administrators tell me I need to reevaluate my priorities like I got money to just waste. Girl, I don't even remember if any school administrators talked to me. I think they just said, this girl, why is she even here? I ain't passed no classes, not even one. They wouldn't let me enroll again. In fact, I don't even think I was eligible for student aid to enroll. That's how bad. That's how bad my grades were. And that first year of student loans, man, that was like a thorn in my side for so many years because I was so mad. Now, it's one thing to have student loans and you got a degree, but to have a whole year of student loans, 5 digits, and none of that year count, girl, child. Mm, 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 mm. Deborah said, you heard that about buying a home? Yep, yep. Venus said, you bought the same lie too about buying a home? Yep, I'm behind y'all. Sorry. I'm catching up. I'm catching up. Yes. I bought my first house when the market fell and my money was disappearing. So what was that? During the 2008 financial crisis, 2008, 2007? Yeah. I didn't want to own a house. I felt like it was a jail sentence. Yes, that first house, it was like, when I say it was one of the worst financial decisions I made, it was because it took so long for me to overcome the mistake. When I decided to sell the house, it was because I had received a promotion and my employer was relocating me to another state. My employer actually paid, well, part of my package, my employer was going to pay the real estate agent fee to put my house on the market, but it was only valid for 6 months. Under normal circumstances, a house can sell in 6 months. I was so underwater. I couldn't even sell the house. I would have had to come out of pocket and pay. I would have had to pay the buyers to take it off my hands. I was like, I don't think so. I became what they call an accidental landlord because I moved for the promotion with the relocation package, but I just didn't use that benefit that was part of my package because I couldn't sell the daggone house. The house was underwater for almost 10 years. Almost 10 years. The worst decision I've ever made. And I agree, Jan, it felt like a jail sentence. It felt like a jail sentence. Ooh, healing one's mindset. I want to leave my children, my money babies. Yes. I love that. I love that thought because our children should not be starting from the bottom unless they make bad choices and they choose to start from the bottom. Because once the children become adults, you can't control the decisions they make. But if we can influence and we can leave them something so that they're not struggling the way we did when we started, I think that's a beautiful thing. I think that's a beautiful thing. Hey, Al, thank you for this. I realized that moving abroad full time was not what I wanted. I love that you mentioned that. Yes, I want you to look within. Think about what you really want. Sometimes we can be influenced by social media. We can be influenced by what we see. We're scrolling on our phones and we're seeing all the nice stuff, the fancy things, the joy. Just always remember what people share on social media is a highlight reel. There are a lot of downsides to moving abroad. There are a lot of challenges when you live abroad. The adjustment period. I think it may take several years for someone to adjust. But if you look at social media, people will have you think, oh, I moved abroad 6 months ago and my life is wonderful. They're sharing their highlight reel. So it's so important to look within to decide if that's what you really, really want. And I'm glad you realized that. Because here I go, putting myself on blast again. I'm trying to tell y'all, I got errors and mistakes and mayhem for days. Y'all know I moved to Merida, Mexico, right? Y'all know I moved to Merida, Mexico. I was so burnt out from work. When I finally resigned, I hightailed it on out of here because I was like, I want to move abroad. I want to be in an environment where I can relax and woosah. Merida was not for me. I stayed for 6 months, packed it up, did a 180, and came back. Was I influenced by other people with the idea that living abroad is amazing? Yeah, I was. I can admit to that. But did I reevaluate and look within when I decided Merida was not for me? I'm not saying I will never ever live abroad full time, but for right now in this phase in my life, it isn't. And I'm okay with that. And I'm glad you realized that too, Elle. I still love to travel. I love to slow travel. So I like being in foreign countries, experiencing the culture, interacting with the people, learning, even though I'm on a struggle bus, learning a foreign language. I still love all of that. But the commitment of planting roots, it's not for me right now. Because y'all know my motto, always reserve the right to change my mind. And I want you to do the same, Elle. But I'm glad you looked within. Moving abroad full time is not something you have to do. There's like a happy median in the middle. I think, especially if you are financially independent, and Elle, I know you're on the fire track. What fire does for you is it gives you options. You don't have to make a choice. You don't have to move to this other country because you can't afford to retire here in the US. You don't have to choose, or you're not limited to this country because this is where the cost of living is lower. When you're financially independent, what that does is it buys you options. It buys you the time freedom and the location freedom, but that's because you have options. That financial freedom piece, it's like the icing on the cake. It's like the sprinkles on the ice cream. It gives you options. So if you decide you want to slow travel for 6 months, go to one country for 3 months, one country for 2 months, one country for 1 month. Or you go somewhere and you think you're going to like it because of your research and you decide this place is not for me. You can pack up and go because you have options. Even if I was locked into a commitment and I already paid up front, if I go somewhere and I get there and I hate it, you think I'm going to keep staying just because of something I already paid for? Girl, no. I'm not going to be miserable for anything, not even money. I'm out. Money gives you options to do whatever feels good to you. And it also gives you options to reserve the right to change your mind and do something different. So I know I went off on a tangent there, but Elle, your comment just made me think about the decision I made when I decided I didn't want to live abroad. I just wanted to slow travel. So I can relate, sis. I can relate. I can most certainly relate. Okay, I'm catching up now. Greta King never made six figures ever. Girl, social media will have you thinking. If you ain't making six figures, what you doing with your life? If you ain't making six figures, you struggling. It's not about how much you make, it's what you do with it when you make it. I know a whole lot of broke six-figure people, six-figure earners that's still broke. So yeah, social media will have you thinking six figures ain't nothing. Or if you're an entrepreneur, you got to be earning seven figures. It'll make you feel like, oh my God, if I'm not there yet, I'm so behind, I'm failing, I'm never going to succeed. And then you quit because you feel like you're doing something wrong. Cut it out. I've done it all. So I ain't judging nobody. Y'all see me putting myself on Front Street. Uh, Jan, I missed the benchmarks. Yeah, those benchmarks are arbitrary. They don't make that. Thank you, Healing One's mindset. They nonsense. Like, where do you get this number from? Like, has Susie Orman never told you how she derived that $10 million? Like, where you living? In Hawaii? Like in Alaska? In one of the most expensive states? Like, when people report those numbers, nobody ever say how you derived at the number. That's one of the things my brain is automatically trained to think. Because of what I used to do for a living. I see a number, we're in the negotiation room, and you are presenting a package to me or a number to me. My first question, I don't care if the number is within the range that I was willing to accept. My first question is how you derive at that number. Because it's something within your explanation I'm going to tear apart. I'm going to find a hole in something you say, and I'm going to challenge you. And we're going to bring that number down some more. But that's just the way my brain thinks. So when I see a number or someone recommending something based on number, how you derive at that number? And if you can't explain it to me in a way that makes sense, it's garbage. It's arbitrary. Girl, you made it up. You made it up. Hey, Anita. It's never too late, and feeling behind is a fluid state. Even if you do everything right, life may still cause you to take a detour and feel behind. Whew, that's good. I know where that's coming from. I'm not going to share any details, but that's good because you can make all the right decisions. You know, you can make all the right decisions. You go to college, you graduate, you get a job, you get married before you have children, you have your two children, your dog, and the white picket fence. You do all the things right. But life be life. Things that you cannot control. You may lose your spouse. They may die prematurely. And then that two-income household that you were comfortable with now becomes one. Right? It's like life happens. Or let's say you're not married and you're doing really, really well in your career, and you happen to live in one of those states that have outlawed a historical law, and you have a oopsie. That's going to change things. It's going to change the complete financial trajectory of your life. You've done all the things right. But life be life, and things happen that are outside of your control. And you got to take a detour, like Anita said. Got to take a detour. And in that case, I can understand why a person would feel behind, because you're not comparing yourself to other people. You're not comparing yourself to an arbitrary benchmark. You're probably comparing yourself to yourself in the past. You're probably comparing yourself to who you used to be, and you want to get back there. So you're feeling behind. In that case, I understand. Feeling behind. And I'm sure even in that case, because you've been there before, you've achieved it before, you felt the success before, you know exactly what you need to do to get it back, even after taking a detour. Right. Free and well. Hey, girl. Hey. Yeah, she caught me live. That's my cousin, y'all. That's one of my little cousins. I love her. I love Annie. Tanya Brooks. I did not know that. He gives me hope. Oh, you must be talking about Warren Buffett. Yeah. Okay. So I'm at the part of the conversation. I'm way behind. He's talking about Warren Buffett. Yeah, he's in his 90s now. Yeah. He didn't become the Buffett that we know today until his 60s. Until his 60s. Greta King, talk about it. Tell him, Greta King. Tell him, Greta King. Tell him. It's about the choices you make today. The past is the past. We cannot control it. We cannot turn back the hands of time. But if we just keep stewing in what we don't have and we're not taking action to change anything, then whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Even with my weight loss, whose fault is it that I'm not at my ideal weight? I'm not comparing myself to the arbitrary number that's no longer valid, the BMI scale. I used to. Y'all know that number don't apply to us, right? It don't apply to us, right? I don't do that anymore. But I have an ideal number where I felt my best, where I felt most optimal, where I felt fit. According to them, I would still be considered overweight when I was at that number. But that's my ideal number now because of the way it makes me feel. What am I doing to get back there? Nothing. So whose fault is it? It's mine. It's all mine. I'm going to get it together. I'm going to get it together, y'all. I'm going to get it together. I just need a switch to go off in my brain like it did the last time when I was running. I just need that switch to flip again. But I'm going to get it together. You want to lose weight too? Send your weight loss. Send your weight loss over to me. You need to gain 20 pounds, girl. I wish I could send you 20 pounds. I got 20 to spare. I got 40 to spare. I got 40 to spare. She said Susie don't have 10 million either. That's why she went back to work. Thank you, Elle. I didn't know that. I don't keep up with Susie Orman because she is not one of my favorite people. I don't keep up with her, so I didn't know that. She ain't got 10 million either. Child, look, these people online, the gurus, like the kids say, they be capping. Okay. All right. You know your ideal life is not in the US. So you do see yourself living abroad full time. I love that for you. I love that for you. As long as you are making the decision based on what you desire and not the influence of others, I love it. I love it. So, what are you doing to get there? What are you doing to make that possible? So, that journal prompt I gave you, write that out. Where do you want to live? What do you want your environment to be? What do you want your home to look like? Be very detailed. Be very detailed. If that's your goal, living outside the US, says, let's make that happen. Let's make that happen. She says, you'll be out of the country right now if you had 6 figures in investments. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. You have a paid off home. Oh, congratulations. Have a paid off home that feels like a jail sentence with all the maintenance to keep up. That's another thing that people don't realize about home ownership. It's not all the glitz and glamour, I'm building generational wealth. I chose the stock market for a reason. The stock market don't require any maintenance. It don't require any repairs. I ain't got to hire nobody. I don't have tenants calling me. Well, I do because I have rental properties, but the stock market, the vast majority of my net worth is the stock market. Because it's simple. It doesn't have no overhead. I don't have no monthly fees. I mean, unless I'm trading, I do pay fees when I trade, especially if I'm trading options and futures. But stock market is so simple. Sorry, your home feel like a jail sentence. I had to be fair to make the conversation balanced. I have heard positive things from people about home ownership where it's their primary home. Now, I am an investor. So I do own properties, but they're all rental properties, right? I usually hear the success stories from other investors. I very rarely hear really, really outstanding success stories from homeowners where they're talking about the home that's their primary home. But I do occasionally. In fact, I think one of the financial besties in here, she owns her home outright. Who was it? If you're in here, can you speak up? Somebody else owns their home outright, and they said it was one of the best decisions that they've made. And I love that for you. So if that's you, let me know. Um, and I'm sure she probably has a contingency plan for like maintenance and repairs and things like that. But yeah, I hear some good things about the primary home ownership occasionally, but not often. Not often. Yeah. The social media highlight reel can really make you think you're doing life wrong. Yeah. It will make you think you're doing life wrong. And the person behind that message don't have half of what they claiming. I was watching a YouTube. I'm being messy now, but I'm hanging with my girl, so I could be messy. It's a YouTuber that I watch sometime. His name is the Pocket Watcher. That is part of his name, Pocket Watcher, and I think he's an accountant or financial advisor. And the draw to his channel is he calls out other financial gurus or other like experts in the financial community, like me, like coaches, um, and he I'm not gonna go down the rabbit hole with this, but he exposes like fraud and exposes like things that are not real. And he was sharing this one girl, she was a trader, and she was marketing her program or whatever, and when she talks about her program, she shares like screenshots of her wins, and he took her screenshots and he broke it down and basically was showing that it was fake, that it was fabricated, that she created it like you're creating something in Canva. I'm like, oh my god, people do that. And it wasn't even real, but she was using that as a way to attract her people to enroll in whatever she was selling. And the whole time she wasn't making all the profit that she was claiming she was making. The money that she was making was actually from the sale of whatever she was selling to you. But she didn't have any money from the actual trading. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that you could make an image. I guess technology is so advanced now, but I didn't know you can make an image and make it look so real. Because me looking at it, and I'm looking at charts all the time. I'm, looking in my brokerage account all the time when I'm trading. It looked real to me. So I could imagine someone that was just learning how they were all Google gaga over what she was sharing. And he just exposed it all. And child, she disappeared. I don't even know where she is now. I was like, oh my God. But yes, social media, the highlight reel, and half things people share, they fake. They fake. I know somebody told me one time, they was like, oh, Malika, you never share this or you never share that. You should share more of this and that. And y'all, I don't share because I have nothing to share. My life is not that interesting. My life is not that interesting. And I'm not going to make up something to share with y'all. When I do something interesting, I share. And when I don't, I don't. I don't have a highlight reel. Uh, I would love to be more transparent, and I'm actually the most transparent when I'm on live talking to y'all, like tonight. But I have nothing to share because my life is boring. But I like it that way. My life is just real peaceful, real chill. But anyway, let me get back to the comments. After caring for my dad, let's see what Miss Greta. After caring for my dad and dealing with the healthcare system in the USA, that's when moving abroad really appealed to me. Okay, I'm now 56 and I still want to leave the USA. Healthcare is huge for me. That's a good point. That's a good point. So you have clearly identified your reason for wanting to move abroad, and you actually have an example that just signifies it for you, that makes it very important to you. So I know because of that experience with your dad, you are going to outline the steps that it takes to get to where you want to be, which is living outside the US. That is so important to have a why, an important why, something that's important to you, because that's what's going to fuel your actions when you're pursuing your goals. When you have goals because you're comparing yourself as something you saw someone else doing, you don't really have a strong why, you're always going to feel like a failure or feel like you're behind because you're really not going to be motivated to take action because you're not doing it because it's truly coming from within. So you don't really, you have inspiration, but you don't really have anything meaningful that's coming from within. And this example that Miss Greta just shared, I get it. I get it. I hope and pray that your move abroad is successful and that you live your best life wherever you land. Wherever you land. One of these days, I might move abroad. I just haven't found my place yet. I'm still searching for it. Thanks so much for being so truthful. We appreciate you because you don't have to be here. Oh, you're welcome, Miss Deborah. You're welcome. I'm not teaching tonight. I'm just hanging out with y'all. Just hanging out with y'all. One other thing I want to share. Actually, it's two more things I want to share. When you're feeling behind, even though we're just chatting, there were a few notes that I wrote down. When you're feeling behind, another thing I want you to do, so we talked about not comparing yourself to others. We talked about, evaluating what you truly want, right? The next thing I want you to do is think about your current financial situation and do like a real assessment of where you are. Because a lot of times we may feel like we're behind because we're so focused on the future, we're so focused on where we want to be. But when we do an assessment and look at where we are currently, sometimes it's actually in a pretty good place. It's actually pretty good, right? So, just for example, like some of the things that I read from some of you, it sounds like you're really, really frustrated or really overwhelmed or really anxious. But I want you to take the time to assess your financial situation and determine if it's really as bad as you're making it out to be. Just food for thought, something I want you to think about. So, for example, if you have savings, right? I know a lot of my community, we're investing, we're building wealth. That's what I talk about. That's what I do. That's what I teach. That's what I encourage. So I know the vast majority of us here, we want to invest to continue building and growing our wealth, right? So you may not be where you want to be, so you feel like you're behind. But let me ask you this. Do you have savings? Do you have, what's the word? I was about to say emergency fund, but we're not calling it emergency fund anymore. One of the financial besties gave us a new word. What's the word? Peace fund. Do you have a peace fund? Right? If you have at least $1,000 in a peace fund, you are actually doing pretty good. You know, we compare ourselves to others. Let's compare ourselves here. Because one of the things I noted, one of the stats, only 39% of Americans can cover a $1,000 emergency. So if you have savings and you have at least $1,000 in your savings account, you were doing better than, y'all know I can't do math. You were doing better than 61% of Americans. Let that sink in. Are you really doing as bad as you think you are? If you have way more than $1,000 in savings, you're doing way better than the majority of people, right? I want you to assess your current financial situation and recognize what you've already done. That is amazing. What you've already done that you should recognize and give yourself a pat on the back for. Because, girl, you did that. If you got savings, if you have a peace fund, you did that. Another thing, debt, right? Do you have credit card debt? I know most of you probably do have mortgage debt if you own a home, or you might have car debt. And I know a lot of you probably have student loans. Let Uncle Joe do his job. But aside from your mortgage and your student loans, do you have consumer debt? You have consumer debt. If you don't have any consumer debt, or if you have your debt under control and you have a plan to pay it off, and you're no longer adding to the debt balance, you're still doing better than most Americans. Quick stat I pulled when I did my Googles: the average American has $32,887 worth of debt, and the majority of that is credit card debt. $32,887. So if you have no consumer debt, or if your debt is manageable and you have a plan and you're actively paying it off, you may not be where you want to be. So that's probably what's making you feel behind. But give yourself credit for where you are right now, because you are doing something that most people in this country cannot do, that most people in this country are struggling to do. That's a lot of what financial coaches do. They help people to create a plan to pay off their debt, right? The vast majority of Americans are in debt. So if you don't have any, or you have a plan and you're actively paying it off and you've stopped the bleeding, you are doing a lot better than you think you are. And sis, I want you to give yourself credit. I want you to give yourself credit, because that was not easy. It was not easy getting out of debt, or if you're still in debt, but you're working on it, being consistent and paying off your debt every single month and not adding to it, that's not easy. Because if we're looking at the highlight reel on social media, you think everybody living their best life. Girl, they got debt. Girl, they got credit card debt. That's how they buying it. So you over here judging yourself and feeling bad and feeling behind because you think, oh my goodness, why is everybody else doing better than me? They're not. They're not. They racking up loads of credit card debt. And you over here trying to get rid of your debt. So that's why you feel bad. Because you're being responsible and you're eliminating the high interest debt. Now, again, I'm not talking about your mortgage, your student loans, especially the student loans, because we're going to do what? We're going to let Uncle Joe do his job. But consumer debt, the high interest consumer debt, you are being responsible and you're actively paying it off. Or you have already been responsible and you've paid it off, and now you want to start investing more. So you're feeling behind because you're comparing yourself to people that look like they living their best life, but they're able to do it because they're racking up debt. Give yourself credit for the hard work that you've already done. You did that. You did that. And it was not easy. It was not easy. Oh, and one other thing before I forget. I need to adjust myself a little bit. Investing. So a lot of us are investing here. If you want to invest, but you feel like you can, or you feel like you don't have enough money, or you feel like you can't invest until you pay off your debt, are you at least contributing to your 401k? If you're still employed, are you at least contributing to your 401k and contributing enough to get your full company match? I ask that because that's still investing. Not only are you still investing, if you're contributing enough to get your company match, you're getting a 100% return on your money. If your employer matches 5% and you put in 5%, let's say 5% is $1,000. You put in 1,000, your employer put in 1,000. That's a 100% return on your money. You're investing. You're not investing as much as you want to, but that's okay. I want you to focus on what you are able to do now and give yourself credit for what you're doing right now. Sometimes we can be too future focused and too forward thinking, where we lose sight of the building blocks and the good things that we've done to establish that firm foundation. Because we can't do anything without the foundation, right? Give yourself credit for the foundation that you've established. Please. Let me check in on the comments. I know I'm behind, and I'm probably never going to catch up. So y'all forgive me. But let me see. Y'all still talk about my weight. Deborah said, send me 15 pounds. Girl, I wish I could. Ingrid said, I'm honest. Listen, when you get into the phase of life that I'm in now, I mean, I'm not seasoned, like some of my aunties, where once you get to that age, you like, who gonna check me, boo? I ain't there yet. Y'all know once I get there, child, I'm gonna be untouchable. But I'm at this phase in my life now where I control my narrative. I speak my own truth because I don't judge myself. Other people's judgment, it doesn't matter to me. Other people's judgment only matter to you when you judge yourself, when you feel bad about things. So I'm as transparent as I am because I've already dealt with the self-loathing, the self-judgment, and the mistakes that I've made in the past. Now I'm like, yep, I did that. Yep, I did that too. Who can judge me if I'm no longer judging myself? So I don't care what anybody think about it. It's part of my story. It's part of my life. And all of it is important and meaningful because it's what got me to where I am today. So, yeah, that's why I'm so honest. Because I don't care about judgment. Financial independence for me, options. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Options. A lot is happening globally, especially here. And as a Black woman, I need options. Yes, ma'am. Let's talk about it. Because, baby, if you ask me where I'm going to be during the election, Malika won't be here. I can promise you that. Because I have options. I'm getting up out of Dodge. Like I said in my private group with my besties that was in my coaching program, I said, whether he win or lose, it's going to be pure pandemonium. Either we going to have another January 6th or he just going to wreak havoc. Either way, I'm going to cast my vote and I'm going to be out of here. You won't catch me because I got options. I understand. I understand the need for options. I'm out. You missed the scholarship email? How you missed the scholarship email? Are you on the email list? And better question. Were you on the email list before I sent the scholarship email? I gave you plenty of time. I announced it last Friday where I begged, please join the email list. I promise you want to be on the email list. And I started to send it out, the scholarship announcement on Sunday, or have it scheduled to go out on Sunday so people can see it in their inbox when they got up on Monday morning. But I was like, nah, I'll wait. I'll wait to give people more time to get on the email list. The challenge starts on Monday. I couldn't wait too long. So if you were on the email list, you got it. Check your spam folder. I sent it out on Wednesday. Check your spam folder. I might be in spam. So if you were on the email list by Wednesday, you should have got it. But if it was after Wednesday, I'm so sorry. You did miss out. Elle, was that you? You own your own home 100%, paid it off 2016. I have a sinking fund for taxes and May. Yes, it was you. So, see, there are good stories about primary homeownership. So, Elle has had a wonderful experience. Thank you for sharing that. So, she has a sinking fund for taxes and maintenance. Awesome, awesome. I know in the state of Florida, if anybody lives in Florida, validate this for me. The state of Florida, the insurance companies adjusted rates for some reason. I don't know what the reasons were, but it increased people's insurance premium so much where it made the mortgage unaffordable. I mean, I'm not talking about your annual adjustments, your $50, $75. Like it substantially increased their premium. Where I've seen some people say their mortgage was $1,600 a month and now it's $2,600 a month. Who who can afford an extra $1,000 just out of the blue because your insurance premium adjusted? And let's say you were putting $1,000 in a sinking fund to prepare for the maintenance and the repairs, and now all of that is being eaten up just in the payment. Like sometimes you just don't know what can happen once you become a homeowner. Again, if anybody lives in Florida and you have more details, please share it so I can highlight it on the screen. But yeah, but Elle, not to take light away from what you said, I appreciate you for sharing that. I'm glad you had a really, really good experience with homeownership. But the taxes and the insurance, when those things start adjusting, you can't control that. You can't control that. And that will increase your monthly payment. People think when you own a home, the monthly payment won't change. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. I have a video, what Black women should know about home ownership. And I talk about all the things that are like hidden costs that people don't talk about. And I share how you can prepare for those unknowns. I'll link it in the description of this video when the live is over so you can find it. I know about that guy who exposed other financial I can't remember his name. He doesn't play. Yes. Yes. He is hilarious. He real messy too, girl. He messy. He messy. But yeah, he a little entertaining, but he real messy. He kind of like, he's like the TMZ of the financial space. Yeah. See, I'm catching up. Yeah. My life is so boring and it's so peaceful. Yeah, Deborah, what's done in the dark will come to the light. Exposure for sure. Yeah. Oh, Tanya. I feel like if you had taken your mom to another country, she would still be alive and healthy. Yeah. Because the U.S. healthcare is not, the U.S. sick care system sucks. So you're absolutely right. And not to mention, doctors don't listen to us. Doctors don't listen to our pain. They don't listen to our complaints. They think we're robots and have a higher unnatural pain tolerance. So yeah, we're discriminated against in medicine as well. But y'all already know that. Y'all already know that. Yes. Ah, that was you, Miss Deborah. Peace fund. Yes, yes. You have 6,000 in your peace fund and you thought it was too low. Why'd you think it was too low? Are you comparing yourself to something, a benchmark? Someone else, an article you read? Why do you think it was too low? I can tell you. If your monthly expenses are less than $2,000, I think a $6,000 peace fund is more than enough. So tell me why you think that was too low. What are you comparing yourself to? Run your own numbers. Run your own numbers. Yeah, she said her loans were forgiven. I see you, Miss Jan. Ooh, healing one's mindset. She said, me too. I see y'all in there. I see y'all up in here letting Uncle Joe do his job. Yes. Wait on Joe and vote. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm definitely going to vote before I leave this country, before I blow this joint. I look forward to supporting you, healing one's mindset. I look forward to supporting you. I got you, sis. I got you. We need options for the end of year or no later than January. Child. I got a video on that too. The video is your financial plan before ish hit the fan. Y'all go check out that video. I outlined it for you, what you need to be doing. I think I did the video a couple of months ago because I wanted to give you some runway to plan. Yes. I'm really enjoying this casual session tonight, just talking to y'all. What's a peace fund? I've got 1K in my O account. Is that the same? Yep. It's the same. It's the same. I think that political refugee asylum can be purchased. Everything's for sale. I got 5 passports. Anita, you crazy. I am about to get residency in another country again. By the time I'm done, I want residency in like 3 countries because I want options. I'm buying my options. If one of them over here join the war and it get dangerous, I'm packing up, going to the other one. Yes. Okay. Someone in Florida. Thank you. Simone B. I'm in Florida. It's insurance and property taxes. That's in. Oh, yeah. Well, that applies everywhere. That's part of your escrow account. Insurance and property taxes can go up everywhere. But in Florida, it's something unique that's going on right now. Something specific to Florida where the insurance companies are adjusting the rates exponentially, like higher than usual. Right? But in every state, your payment can go up because of the insurance premium and the property taxes being reevaluated and adjusted. So it makes your escrow go up. How much you need in escrow makes that go up. So your payment has to go up. All right. But it's something unique to Florida. I don't remember what it was. Somebody told me. Tarala Watson. That's a new name. Welcome. Hey, girl. Hey. Hello, I'm 35 and I just started investing in my 401k and IRA using my employer matching. And I'm proud of myself for getting started. Yes, sis. Yes, sis. At 35. Yes, you should be proud of yourself for getting started because I'm proud of you too. And I'm sure all the besties up in here proud of you too. Aren't y'all proud of her? You're proud of our baby sis, Tarala. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Let her know you're proud of her. Yes. Very good. Very good. She's doing very good. 60,000 of my loan was forgiven. Yes. Let Uncle Joe do his job, y'all. Insurance company. Oh, thank you, Simone. Insurance companies are leaving the state due to hurricane and flood. Is that why the premiums are so high? Wow. Yeah. Insurance companies is one of the business model is profitable because actuaries like estimate and project what's the likelihood of something happening where you will file a claim. If the risk is low, they will cover you. You pay them that premium every single month for years and years and years and never file a claim. How many homeowners in here have been paying homeowners insurance for 10, 15 years and you only filed maybe one claim? Insurance companies are rich, richer than rich, wealthy, uber wealthy, because they collect the premium and never have to pay out. So when they in a state like Florida, it makes sense why they will be leaving. They're like, oh, these real claims. Oh, a hurricane claim. Oh, a flood claim. Oh no, we got to go. They gotta pay out. They gotta pay them claims now. It's cutting into their profit. If you live in Florida, I'm not laughing at you. I'm not. I'm talking about the business model of insurance companies. So I understand why. I understand why they leave it. Yes, y'all support our sis, Tarala. Yes, congratulations to her. My numbers are good. My monthly is under 2K. I'm right on track. Okay. So you are right on track with your 6K peace fund. Absolutely. So look, we got one sis that's not feeling behind anymore. Run your own numbers. Run your own numbers. Mocha Music. Hey girl, hey, that's another new name. We got some new besties in here tonight. I love it. I love to hear more about your journey to get multiple residencies. Have you looked into citizenship by investment in the Caribbean? I have not. I have not. I am not interested in the Caribbean. I'm actually not a fan of even traveling to the Caribbean as a tourist. It's like I visited quite a few islands when I was a new traveler, but it's not something that interests me, mainly because hurricanes and having to evacuate every single year. And I know there are some islands that are outside the hurricane belt, like Barbados. I know that's one of them. Um, but I don't have an interest in living in the Caribbean, so no, I haven't looked into it. Um, but in terms of my journey, getting multiple residencies, right now I only have one. I am going to be headed off for another long, extended exploration around the globe. Coming up soon, I will share my journey as I experience it. I am filling out one application for one of the countries before I leave. And the other country, I have to wait until my birthday because I got to reach that age limit. But for most of the residency applications that I'm doing, they are long term residencies. Like in Mexico, I have permanent residency. I had to demonstrate financial solvency. So I had to show evidence of my assets in order to meet their criteria. And these other countries are similar. Um, the country that I'm applying to now, and I'll share more detail when I complete the process and do an actual video on it. But the country that I'm applying to now, they also have a minimum asset amount because I'm applying for, what is it called? It's called a homes. I think the residency is called a homestay residency. It's the one where you have to demonstrate your assets and then you automatically are granted like 5 years or 10 years um, the first time around. And then when you renew, you can be considered permanent the second time around. But I'm pulling all my paperwork together now to submit it. Haven't been approved yet, so I can't share a whole lot now. I'm still learning and researching as I go, but I'm in the process of doing that now. And the second one I don't meet the age limit yet. But I share all that to say the residencies that I focus on are more of the longer term residency where I can go and stay as long as I want. I don't want to have to leave in 6 months, or I don't want to have to renew in 1 year. So I look at all the options that are available to me. And whatever the highest one is that I qualify for, that's the one I'm shooting for. It usually requires me to put some money in a local bank account. It usually require me to demonstrate a certain amount of assets. The country I really, really, really want to be in, I haven't added that one to my list yet because they have a requirement where I need to own property. I love the country, but I don't know if I love it enough to own property there for the visa that I want. So I'm going to go there and stay for a couple of months. I've been before and stayed for like 2 months. I want to go and stay a little longer just to test the waters to make sure it's something I really, really want before I pursue that one. But I have an idea of about 3 or 4 countries on my list that I that's on my radar for residency, and just taking my time, doing one at a time, not planting my feet anywhere. Again, I just want options. I want options, and I want long-term options. Long-term options because I do not want to have residency in a country that's only a year and then there's some conflict that happens and then their policies and process change and then they're not renewing anymore and then I got to go. I don't want that. I don't want that. If I qualify for something longer, that's the one I'm going for. But as I experience more, I'll share more as well as the details with it. Okay. Let's see. Portugal and Southeast Asia are attractive. To me, Bangkok's cost of living was very affordable. The US dollar can go a lot further. Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, that's where I'm headed. I'm headed to Southeast Asia. There's several countries I'm looking at in Southeast Asia. As an investor, I also need to consider the tax treaties that the countries have. I also need to consider if capital gains are taxable. Um, and it requires a lot of research for me to understand the impact to me, not just having the freedom to live in that country, but I also need to consider the financial impact. One of the resources that I look at as one of my first levels of information when I start researching a new country is the capitalist nomad. And he shares a lot of information about countries for investors and business owners and the tax treaties that they have and the tax benefits of being an investor, if it's worth buying a property, the property taxes that you may have to pay, and things like that. And I find his information to be very useful because he shares things that a lot of regular expat sources don't share. So he's one of my favorite resources to go to when I'm researching, when I start my research in a new country. And then I just continue going down the rabbit hole from there. But he's a great starting source. Aww. Not before. Look, you've been paying insurance for 34 years and not one claim. That insurance company love you, girl. That insurance company loves you. Yes. And look, and when people file too many claims, then they'll drop you. They ain't gonna let you eat into their profits. Isn't it a little expensive in the Caribbean? Um, I wouldn't know. Anybody know if it's expensive living in the Caribbean? All right, Miss Jan, I see you. I see you. We've been on a while. I'm gonna wrap up here. Oh, one more thing I want to share before y'all go. This would be meaningful, very important, and I got some good news coming. Good news coming. Let me check my notes real quick. Hold on one second. There was one more thing I wanted to share with y'all. One more thing. Oh, so we talked about assessing your financial situation, giving yourself credit for what you have done well and where you are now. And the last thing is when you are feeling behind. Hold on. My throat getting dry. And the last thing, my tea all cold. But when you are feeling behind, instead of feeling discouraged or being upset with yourself of what you didn't know that you think you should know, or what you didn't do that you think you should have done, after you do the first three things that we talked about, right? Not comparing yourself, clearly defining what you desire and your why, and then assessing your current financial situation and giving yourself credit for what you have done well. Now, if you desire to get to another level, I always say there's levels to this money game. And y'all, I just got started myself. Um, if you decide that you are ready for the next level and you're feeling away, you're feeling discouraged and you're feeling behind because you don't know how to get there or you don't know what to do, don't beat yourself up because you don't know. None of us were born knowing this information. I was just telling a sister the other day, and she was like, but I feel like I should. I'm XX years old. And the age came up again, and she was beating herself up because of what she felt like she should know. Nobody knows these things. We have to learn. So if you are ready for that next level and you don't know, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. I don't want you to be discouraged. Take that next step and ask for help. And this season that you're in right now, you're not where you want to be, but you're taking small baby steps to get there. I want you to spend this season, instead of focusing on the place where you want to be, but you're not there yet, and making yourself feel bad because you're behind, spend this season educating yourself, getting the help that you need, but also educating yourself in terms of like reading books or watching the YouTube videos, the YouTube University. Read books on whatever it is that you want to achieve. Always start with a good book. So, if we're talking about financial independence, y'all know my favorite financial independence book that I recommend, that I suggest to everyone. Y'all know it. Put it in the comments. I talk about it so much. Put it in the comments. What's my favorite book that I recommend to everyone about financial independence? Start reading. I have the link in the description box. In fact, no, I'm going to share it. I want you to start educating yourself. Spend this season educating yourself instead of being upset about where you are. I shared some of my favorite finance books. Yes, Miss Greta King. Miss Greta King. I shared some of my favorite finance books. Here's a link. You can go to this link and check it out. Check it out. Why didn't it link? Why did it post like that? Here we go. Yep. Y'all know. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. It's not posting as a link. I'm not sure why. But there we go. Simple Path to Wealth. Simple Path to Wealth. Get it, read it, get it from your library. Even if you don't want to buy it, get it from your library for free. Or do a search on the Googles. You can probably find a PDF download. If I had one, I would share it. But I didn't do that Google before I hopped on. But start reading. Start reading to prepare yourself for the next level. There's also some other books that are my favorites. They're in the description of this video. And if you're able to access that link, they're organized. I organize all of the books that I've read that helped me to get to where I am today, and the books that I'm reading now to get to where I want to be. All of them are on that link that I share with you. Another thing I want you to do is to watch the YouTube videos. I have a whole playlist. A lot of you that are here with me tonight, you've been with me since I started the YouTube channel, but a lot of you are also new. You may not have seen the other videos that I've done on investing. I have a whole playlist. It's titled Investing for Women. I'm going to drop that link in the description too. Watch the YouTube video If you watch the playlist, you can hit play on a video and just let it ride. Just let it ride. Just watch all the videos. Kick back, put it on the TV. One of my financial besties, she had a private one-on-one coaching call. And when we hopped on the call, I heard my voice in the background. She was watching me on the TV. That was so hilarious to me. Put it on the TV while you're doing your Saturday morning house cleaning tomorrow and just let it play and just listen. Listen to it on a loop. Just watch YouTube videos on investing. Read books on investing. I'm sharing the resources with you. What else I got? Hold on, let me look at my notes, see what else I got. Oh, the free investor guide. Did y'all know I had a free investor guide to help you get started with investing? All of the sort of resources I'm sharing are free. And in this investor guide, I share my 3 favorite stocks that I recommend for beginners. 3 favorite stocks that are good for beginners to start building your portfolio. They're in the investor guide, moneycoachmalika.com/start investing. All right. That's all the information you need to get started. Right. And the last thing I want to share, let me look at my notes. Oh, I think I shared everything. I think that was everything. Oh, but the last thing I do want to share with you guys, me and my good sis, Adelia, avoid Sade, we've been talking about y'all. We've been talking about y'all. And we have decided that we're going to collab. We're going to collab and do something special for you. We're going to collab over here. We're going to collab over there. So make sure y'all are subscribed to both of our channels. My channel, you can hit that button. If you're not subscribed, go on and hit that button now. Subscribe to my channel. And also subscribe to Adelia's channel. Her name on YouTube, she goes by Picky Girl Travels the World. I think that's her YouTube name. But her name is Adelia Abor Sade. I hope I'm saying that right. And I will drop her channel link too. I'm sure most of you are already subscribed. That's probably how you found me. But if you are not subscribed to my good sis, I want you to go over there. Go over there and subscribe to her channel. And when you do, leave a comment and say Malika sent me. Say Malika sent me so she'll know that you came from over here. But yes, me and my good sis, we're going to collab and create something for you, because there was an email I received that's related to this topic about feeling behind. And she said, we'll share more about it when we do our collab. But she said something that pulled at my heartstrings. And it was something to the effect of, I enjoy both of your channels, but you all never create content for people like me. And she went on to describe people that don't have money to invest, people that don't have a lot in the stock market, people that don't have a lot in savings, people that never made a high income. What about us? Don't we deserve to enjoy life too? No one shares information to help us. And y'all, when I tell you, that comment almost brought me to tears. She wasn't offensive in any way. She wasn't offensive. But it almost brought me to tears, because I was like, she's telling the truth. I don't share a lot of information for someone in that demographic. And I want to fix that. And Adelia wants to fix it too. So for you sisters that feel left behind, that feel like we don't create content for you, that feel like you're behind and you don't know what to do to catch up, we got you. We got you. It's coming very soon. Make sure you're subscribed to both of our channels. But we've been on for 2 hours now, and I'm tired, and my voice keeps getting scratchy, and my tea is cold. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I have really enjoyed hanging out with y'all. I really enjoyed the engagement. If this video was helpful, do me a favor and hit the like button. Hit the like button and share the video with other women you know who may be feeling financially behind. She may need to see that she's not alone. And I hope I've shared something that was useful for you, something that you can walk away with that makes you feel a little better about where you are. But on that note, until next time, continue learning, continue investing so you can live what you love. I love y'all. Bye for now.